Well, good evening, everyone. This is Patricia, and I am traveling for history. I'm in Burlington, Vermont this evening on North Avenue, a very busy thoroughfare. I have no control over the traffic, which is going to be making quite a bit of noise here. Pretend you're at the ocean, on the beach, listening to the ocean. Now, this is currently an apartment complex, and if I move to the pan to the left here, you'll see that it's connected to, or rather an apartment is connected to it, but it did not start life that way. You can probably tell by looking at it that it was some sort of public institution, and if that's what you were thinking, you are absolutely correct. This started life as the St. Joseph Providence Orphan Asylum and Hospital. Let me break down that title for you. So, a while ago I did a video on St. Joseph's Cathedral, and I'll put that link in the description below. There was also a St. Joseph's School, which is no longer, and this St. Joseph's Orphanage. So, part of the family of St. Joseph's. The Providence portion was the order of nuns who were charged with caring for the children and staffing both the orphanage and the hospital. Orphan asylum, what on earth does that mean? Well, that's a 19th century term for an orphanage. The definition of an orphanage is a public institution which is charged with the care of children with no parents. Perhaps their parents died, their parents could have abandoned them, or even the parents could not afford to raise them. The social safety net did not exist as it does nowadays. The hospital is as you would think. It was built between 1879 and 1883 under the oversight of Father John S. Michaud. The interior of the building, and let me just make sure we're talking about the right part of the building here. There we go, just this portion of it. The interior of the building, in its original construction, consisted of a large kitchen in the back right, large recreation rooms in the last 2 or 3 bays of either end, and a laundry room in a rear extension, as well as many, many rooms where the children slept. The building had kerosene lighting, and there were originally 4 wooden utility buildings in the back, with uses listed as a carriage house, 2 sheds, and an icehouse. Between 1906 and 1912, electric lighting was installed into the main building. Also, this property was given a new address, 351 North Avenue, in order to conform with the odd side of the street. The property went under a number of minor changes in the second half of the 20th century. By the mid-1950s, the orphanage had a telephone, as the phone number is listed for the first time. Between 1942 and 1960, a major change occurred in the form of a large southerly addition. This new building was used as a school with a stage and a hall. By the late 1960s, the Sisters of Charity Providence organization was running operations here. And also, that's when the name of it changed to St. Joseph's Child Center. By the early 1980s, the Roman Catholic Diocese had moved many of their administrative operations to this property. These listings included Camp Holy Cross, the Diocesan Office building, the Roman Catholic Diocesan Tribunal Office, etc. The Catholic Church retained control over this property until 2010, when Burlington College, a small private liberal arts college, purchased it for just over $6 million, as reported by the city assessor's office. According to the Burlington Free Press, the building was sold to help pay for settlements of a number of sexual abuse lawsuits against the Roman Catholic Diocese in Vermont. Burlington College closed its doors in 2015 and sold the property to Farrell Real Estate. Farrell Real Estate has built several apartment buildings on the property since the purchase. There have been multiple allegations of all types of abuse from those who were children here. Mental, emotional, physical, and sexual abuse, as well as people stating a nun murdered a child. Local authorities investigated the murder allegations and took statements regarding the abuse. There was not enough evidence regarding the murder, and the statute of limitations had run out for the abuse. The chief of police in Burlington believed the abuse happened, given the number of complainants and the similar stories. If these walls could talk, they would sob a river of tears. If you're interested in learning more about the abuse, on YouTube, if you type in St. Joseph's Orphanage, Burlington, Vermont, a whole host of news articles, news videos will pop up, and you too can avail yourselves of that information. It is heartbreaking and horrid. For those who would say that the nuns and or priests would never have conducted themselves like that, just remember that there are bad apples and evil people in all walks of life. I also have two personal stories to share about this building. So I had a couple of friends who worked here in the 2000s, the 2000s, mid-2000s. I taught line dancing back then, and they suggested I use the gym to teach a beginner class. Plus, I got to store my DJ equipment there. Win-win. The other story... Well, first a bit of background. I was the backup DJ and line dance instructor at the Cobweb on the Friday night line dance nights. The Cobweb was a dance hall in Georgia, Vermont, but it's been torn down since, and condos have replaced it. Anyway, after I worked at the Cobweb, I planned to drive to Cape Cod for a line dance weekend event. So I decided to stop at St. Joseph's to drop off my equipment. The entrance was around back with one light over the door and a pole light over the parking lot, which was some distance away. I had the Michaud key. Have you ever used one of those things? Sometimes they can be downright finicky. The friend who gave me the key had warned me that that particular lock was ornery sometimes. And sure enough, on that cold December night, around 11 p.m., the lock's green light would not yield. I had left my driver's side door open and the engine running for the heat. As I was trying the key for the umpteenth time, I thought I saw movement at the edge of the building to my right, out of the corner of my eye. It looked like a man dressed in black. And I shrugged it off as, my mind playing tricks on me. I'd worked that day and evening and was about to drive 5.5 hours on top of that. I was sure I was wrong. As I continued to futz with that key, I thought I saw movement again from the same place. And sure enough, it was a man all dressed in black. And he was walking towards me. Even thinking about it, I'm getting scared again. It was crazy. I was 5'2", dead center behind this incredibly huge building. which was empty that time of night. No one would have heard me scream. Yep, those are the thoughts running through my mind. He was about halfway to me at this point when the lock worked. That's when he suddenly stated, "Burlington Police!" I then recognized his uniform. I felt relief. I have to say, I felt a lot of relief. For the first time in my life, I yelled at a cop. I told him, "You scared me!" I actually thought I was going to cry tears of relief. He apologized for scaring me, especially after he saw the key and heard my explanation as to why I was there. He stayed briefly as I unloaded my equipment into the building. Once my equipment was in the storage closet in the gym. Pardon me, the wind is very strong here. And I checked there was no one unexpected outside. I got in my car and drove away. That's really all about all I wanted to say about this building, but I'm going to go ahead and pan in so you can see some things closer than what I'm showing you right here. And this is the best my phone will do. But dormer windows at the top. I use my pointer here, my handy dandy cane. Those are dormer windows. So this is that 1950s edition. From here to here, original building. And this is the new edition of the apartment buildings. It's an amazing building. It's gorgeous in there. But sad start to life. Alrighty, thanks so much for coming with me today. Hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, usual stuff, like, comment, subscribe, share it. But share our love of history with everyone worldwide. Alrighty, you have a great day, and until I see you again, have a great night. Bye.